In this video, we'll go over what each record type means in the Envase TMS and how to set them up. Let's begin with the personnel records. To get started, you'll need to create an internal list of your users and drivers that you'll have in the system. First, we're going to create a user. To do this, click on the circular plus sign in the Personnel section. From here, make sure the user option is selected and fill in the user's required details, including name, internal name, and start date. Once you've finished entering in the details, click on Create. Next, we'll create a driver to add to your personnel. To create a driver, it's similar to creating a user, except this time, we want to make sure the driver option is selected before we fill in the details. Also, make sure you enter an email address for the drivers, as that's what's needed to connect to the Envase mobile app. Once you've finished adding the driver's information, click on Create. To note, you also have the option to create a quick add of your personnel. To do this, click on the square purple button at the top menu bar and select Personnel from the drop-down menu. This is helpful when you're dispatching an order and you realize you have a new driver that you haven't created yet. You could quickly create them from the Quick Add option, so you have them available to choose from in the system. Moving on to the customer records. We categorize a customer as the company you're going to be billing and sending invoices to. To create a customer, click on the circular plus sign in the Customers section. From here, enter in the required details of the customer. Make sure to include an internal name, because that's what's used to display the company's name internally in the TMS versus how it displays legally on the invoices. For the batch invoice method field, by default all customers created are set to no grouping. If the customer requires invoicing grouping, you have the option to group the invoices by master bill or reference number. After you've completed filling in the general information, enter in the physical address and billing address, then click on Create. Once the customer has been created, you can add contacts to the company, or add notes that include reminders or special delivery instructions from the customer. Next, we'll go over the locations records. Your locations are all the places your drivers will touch, such as your terminals, rails, and customer warehouses. To note, because a customer is technically a location, when you create a customer, by default, they will fall under both the customer and location records. To create a location, click on the circular plus sign and fill in the details, including internal name, company name, and address. You also have the option to include loading information, receiving information, required signature, or any other additional information. Once you've completed entering in the details, click on Create. Remember, for all the records, you have the option to create a quick add by clicking on the square purple button at the top menu bar and selecting the record. Lastly, we'll go over the equipment records. The equipment section helps you create a record of the equipment you own, such as trucks, containers, and chassis. To add new equipment, click on the circular plus sign and fill in the required details, including unit number, unit type, and active date. Once you're finished entering in the details, click on Create. If you want to add any notes to the equipment, for example if it has any damage to it or if a driver is using it, you can do that in the Notes section. You also have the option to download or print your list of equipment. To do this, click on the download or print icon in the top right corner. And with that, we've covered what each record type means and how to create them in the Envase TMS. For more information, visit our website or check out our other training videos.